Well, thank you. Okay. So you can see my inbox here. And what I want you to know about Gmail is that this is kind of like the default look. Yeah, I put a background in here, but um, you can see my emails that have attachments have a little paper clip over here. So I'm going to just show you, first of all, how to customize the look of your email so it works better for you. And for some of you that use Outlook, you're going to see that you can kind of make it look just like Outlook. So we're going to go ahead and go up here to our settings. See our settings up here on the top right? And this is the Google Apps. So you see your Gmail is here. And so is your YouTube and Google My Business. Whatever apps you have should be in there. But this is the setting bar. And the setting bar has quick settings that pop up, first of all. So this is the default. So it shows the actual attachments right underneath the email. But if that takes up too much space and you don't get to see as many of your emails, we can actually move those over so that they show up as a paper clip on the side. So set that up however you want. Compact is where it even scrunches more lines together in a little smaller font. So you can see here what this looks like. So I kind of like the default because I like to see what actual attachments are there, because I have this in conversation view, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And so when you have a conversation view, it shows, a lot of times it shows the attachments from one of those views. So like this one has 4 different emails embedded in this conversation view. So it does show exactly what I have as far as attachments there, but they can be from any one of those 18 conversations back and forth. So we're going to stick with the default for now, but you see the difference with comfortable and compact. Here you can pick your theme, and I put a nice ocean view behind me as much as I can see of it. It's not a lot. And so here's our inbox type. You can also add your own image, by the way. So you can say view all, and it shows you a whole bunch of different pictures. But you can also upload your own picture if you want. So we're going to go ahead and leave our theme the same. Now here's our inbox. This is the default. So what you're seeing is, again, the default. We're going to go ahead and show you if you want to organize your emails as important first. So if you have ones that you have marked important, they're going to show up first, or your unread ones are going to show up first. Okay. Now, keep in mind, this just pulled them from my social and my promotional tabs that you saw up at the top, as well as my inbox tab. So let's go back here and see that. So I have primary, social, and promotions up here. So mainly what comes into this tab, or the primary tab, are the ones that Google or myself has said it is okay to come into my inbox. Social tends to be those that are from social marketing, Nextdoor. You can see LinkedIn is in here. Promotional are like Rayleigh's Grocery Store, the Alzheimer's Association, even Google Ads is in here, Bed Bath & Beyond. So these are mainly companies that are trying to send me promotional items. So I like to keep those out of my primary. But you can mark unread first, or if you're using a star system, you can actually color code each email with a star. And then it would show all those that are starred first. So priority inbox. You can actually put in your inbox, your priority inbox, And you can say the important unread ones, the starred ones, and everything else, that up to 25 items. Important and unread, starred, unread items in the first section, unread items in the inbox. Our reading pane is no split. And the show markers are show a marker by messages marked as important, or you can have no markers. And don't override the filters. I always say don't override the filters, because if I put in filters, I want those emails to go into certain filters. We're going to talk about filters as well. So we're going to go back to our inbox here and go back to our themes. And you can also have multiple inboxes. So here's our reading pane. And this is where a lot of people don't know that you can actually put, you know, like a, you can have, oops, let's go back over here. You can have a preview screen of the email. So if I go in here, I can put in all of these. I can click on an email and it shows me a preview of what that email is. So you can have it to the right of your inbox. And if you grab that center, you can also make it smaller and make your list of emails larger. Let's go back. I want to get rid of, there we go. I want to get rid of those unimportant and unread messages first. So for example, now if I click on this one, you're going to see a preview of what this is. And we all know that because that's usually the way Outlook defaults. So, and a lot of people like that. So you can also have the reading pane underneath the boxes. And if you have it below, I recommend that you go to either a compact or a comfortable so that you can still get more of your emails. And again, you can also put your divider in there and drag it down so you have a little more, you can see a little more of your emails. It's whatever is most comfortable for you. So this is your reading pane. So I'm going to go back to my default density and put it to the right of the box. And now we're going to talk about email threading. So this is conversation view. So here you can see that I may have an email that went out, say to one person, but we've gone back and forth several times. Okay, so like here's one with Dominique. We've had 7 emails back and forth with this subject line. So we can actually group those, or we can ungroup those. So if we want to ungroup those, we turn off our conversation view. You have to reload it. We're going to reload it. So now you see there's no numbers to the side of this. So each one, my granddaughter left her scooter at the ballpark. And you see each one is a different email instead of being grouped as a conversation. Does anyone have any questions on that? Because that tends to throw a lot of people off. I'm going to put the conversation view back on. And again, now you can kind of see, like here's Cassie. We've had 6 emails back and forth. And it usually shows the part of the first and the last. And you can open this up and click on any one of the emails. So let's go back to our settings. So those are everything that's in the quick settings. We have our density, we have our inbox type, we have our reading pane, and we can turn on or off the conversation view. So let's go to the rest of our settings. Let's go to see all settings. Oh, here, let me get back out, because before I do that, I wanted to show you one more thing. So see all my my folders over here is what they call them. These are my folders. These are actually categories up here. So what I'm going to do is, if I feel like this is just taking up too much space, I can go up here to the main menu and turn that off. And then it just turns into icons. But when you hover over it, it opens up so you can read it. And it gives you a little more space on your monitor. Now I have to have a super big monitor here, so it's kind of overwhelming to have it that big, but we'll leave it that big. All right, now we're going to go back into our settings and say see all settings. So under general, of course, we have the language, we have phone numbers, default. Here you can change your maximum page size anywhere from 10 to 100. I'm comfortable with 50 in there. And this is important right here, undo send. I have mine set for 30 seconds. So what does that mean? Let's go back to our inbox and let's compose an email. I'm going to send it to myself. And Diane, I'm going to send it to you too.
I'll be waiting.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and send this. And what you want to watch for is the pop-up that happens on the lower left. So I'm going to hit send. And it says message sent. Now I can undo it. The default is 30 seconds. I mean 5 seconds. But I have mine set for 30 seconds because sometimes it takes my brain longer to go, oh, I forgot the attachment. Usually it knows if you say something about an attachment in the body of your email to warn you that you're sending it without an attachment. But just in case, I have mine set for 30 seconds, so I still have a chance to undo. Now, Diane, you did not receive that email, correct?
I did not.
Okay, so if I send again, you can view message or undo. And that gives you 30 seconds to decide what you want to do. You want to send it, you need to undo it, you need to view the message to make sure that you said something, you can open it up. All right, let's go back to my inbox. So it's past my 30 seconds. Diane, did you receive it? I did receive it.
Not yet.
You should have it any second. So we're going to go ahead. And does anyone use that undo, or did you know it was what it was when it said that down there?
I do use it.
I
need
did
it.
not know, and so I'm very happy. Thank you.
You know, I have wished I could undo something until I went, oh, I can undo something. And that's why I took it off. The default is 5 seconds, and I gave myself 30 seconds for my brain to work. But you guys have to remember, I'm old. So you may be able to think faster, like 10 or 20 seconds. Here you can actually have your reply behavior set to reply all or reply. I don't recommend that because sometimes we say things to one of the persons in the two that we don't want everyone to see. So it's not, I don't ever want to say reply all. And I also, when I want to reply all, I want to be able to choose that and not have it default to reply just to the sender. So I leave that blank. Enable hover actions. Yeah, just, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. Have that on. Send an archive. Okay, so I have hide send an archive button in reply because I don't really, I have rules set up to as far as archiving, so I don't need to make that decision in my emails as they come in or as I send them. So I just leave that one off. Here is your default text style. Now, a lot of us just go with the default, blah, 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 not realizing that we can actually change our font and we can change the size of it and we can change the color of it. So if you don't like the sans serif normal because it's too small or whatever, and you don't want the text color to be black, you can change that here. And you can change it often. It doesn't have to always be the same. So images, always display external images or ask before displaying external images. Google Gmail is actually pretty good at warning you if something looks iffy that, or, and I have micro and trend systems on my computer as far as spam or virus protection. So I don't really worry about images too much coming in because Trend Microsystems usually grabs those and tells me. Sorry, I just had an urgent message. We have a missing 15-year-old in our neighborhood that they're all looking for. Grammar suggestions I like to have on because what Gmail, and we've all heard about AI or artificial intelligence, it tends to, after a while, kind of get to know your own style of writing. And a lot of times, what it's going to do on Smart Compose and Grammar is make suggestions according to your previous activity and make suggestions according to your style. So I do have the grammar on, and of course, you always want to have the spelling suggestions on. Autocorrect. Smart Compose, I do like that because it does tend to, if I'm writing an email, it goes, oh, this is what you said in the same email, the same topic last time. So do you want to say it the same way? And it kind of puts it out there. And if you hit the tab button, it sticks it out there. But if you don't hit the tab, you can just keep typing. And we'll cover that in just a minute. I'll show you what that means. External access is accessing beta versions and beta features of Gmail from Google. I don't like having that on here because I don't want to be a beta tester for Google. But if you like to see what's coming out, what features, you can turn that on. Here we've already talked about conversation view, on or off. Nudges. Now this kind of irritates the heck out of me. So but I keep them on for a reason, because sometimes, some days I get so many emails that, and I may read one and then I totally forget that I got that email. So if I've forgotten it for a day or two, it's gonna pull it up and nudge me. You got this email 2 days ago and you haven't responded. Do you want to respond? And 80% of the time, I'm going to say no, dismiss it. But there's that 20% that is too important for me to ignore. So I do keep it on. This smart replies just shows suggested replies when available. And that's kind of like Smart Compose. It's a little different, but it's also a good thing to have on. Mark a conversation as read after 3 seconds. That's your preview pane. So when you have a preview pane, like we do on our inbox right now, this is our preview pane. So if it's up there for more than 3 seconds, it's going to mark it as read. If it's less than 3 seconds, it's going to keep it as unread. Again, if you have a question or I'm going too fast, someone speak up or put it in chat, okay? Smart features and personalization. This is Gmail chat and Meet. Can use my email. If you do not use the chat or the Google Meet, you can have this turned off and it's not going to do anything. This just allows when you go into Hangouts or Google Chat or Google Meet that it uses your contacts from Gmail. Turn on smart features. It's same thing. Desktop notifications. I do have my email notifications off because I do get some kind of notification, but I don't get pop-ups telling me that I've got an email. And I'm fine with that because my phone gives me notification when I have a new email, and my phone is always next to me. So I don't need multiple notifications that I got another email. But you might want to turn that on if you don't have it on your email, on your phone. Stars. This is a good way to categorize your emails. I find it a little cumbersome, so personally I don't use it. But you can use 1 star, 4 star, all stars, and you can change the color of the stars. You can do whatever you want. I don't tend to use those because I have a lot of rules set up that we're going to cover that pretty much organize my inbox the way I want it. I do have the keyboard shortcuts turned off because my fingers fly too fast and sometimes that gets me in trouble. That's hence the 30-second on the undo rule. Button labels, I tend to use icons instead of text. Now let's talk about what that means. So I'm going to go to my inbox over here. And when I click on this email, you're going to see I have a preview over here. Let's bring it over a little bit. And you see the icons up here. I know what these icons mean, so I don't tend to have worry about them. But if you're uncomfortable with those icons and you prefer text, we can turn on the text here and hit save and go back to our inbox. Let's preview this and notice those icons all turn to text. That's all that means. So really this is all about just setting up and organizing your inbox the way you like it and the way it's most comfortable for you. Here you can put your picture on. Your picture shows up here. It shows up on all your Google apps. I think that is a really awesome thing to have. Otherwise, Gmail just puts a letter in a round colored circle, and that's, people are supposed to know that's you. So personalize it, put your photo in there. Create contacts for autocomplete. When I send a message to a new person, sometimes when I'm sending a message to one person and it goes, you know, you've grouped these other 2 people in with this person before, do you want to add them? It's just suggesting other people that you may want to add into this conversation. You can turn that off. It doesn't automatically put them in, it just suggests them. All right, so signature. This is actually what kind of spurred me to do this class in the first place. So you can create email signatures. You can create more than one. And I'm going to show you exactly what this is. Let me go back to my inbox. I didn't save, so it's saying, didn't you want to save that? So this was the one that I sent to Diane and I. So let's open this up. So here you can see from this little dash, I think it's 2 dashes, where I have thank you, Patsy Mecca, and then I have my email signature image, and then I have links down here. You cannot, whenever you have an image, you cannot have, like, I could not have an email link on my email or a call me link on my phone number because it's an image. Images are flat. So what I can do though is put things down below. So let me get rid of that. So people can click on it and go to my website, my event page, read my reviews, whatever you want to put down here. You can customize this to be your own. So let's go back over to settings and go down to signature under general. And you can create more than one signature. So you can have like one for, if you use your email for personal use and for business use, you may want to have 2 different signatures. So this is my signature for everything. And here I can actually edit the signature. So now it says my business signature. And I have thank you, comma. Let's see, I can change that to gratefully, Patsy Mecca. And then here, notice you can remove the signature, make it small, medium, large, original size. And then underneath that, you can see I have my email in there. I said, email me. Let me go over here and do that again. Email me. I just typed in, wrote what I wanted to say, then I highlight it and I use the link button and it says email address so I can put in my email. So notice you only have 2 choices. You have web address and email. You can't put a phone, call me, because Gmail is not linked to a telephone at all. So if you say okay in here, you can notice again, I have email me and it shows the email and you can change or remove it. I'm going to remove it because I've already got it in there. So again, here's my website. So it's got my website link in here. Again, I can change it or remove it. And that's just highlighting the text that I wrote and adding a link. The Monday Marketing Forum, you can see this goes to my website, to my event page. My reviews, it goes to my website and my review page. So just think what you can put in your email address, people. So it makes it really easy for, instead of having your name and then your DRE number and realtor and then your phone number and your email and your website all in a big signature block, it's really easy to have a nice decorative image and then put your links below. I have one that even has like join Keller Williams or something, or join EXP, and links to maybe one of their recruiting pages on their website if they have one. And even if you have a Google form on here, you have like, here's my form on what suggestions that you would like for classes. And if I go to my form, I can go to my settings. Oops, cancel. Let me go to my form. Oh, sorry, it said send. What am I thinking? Okay, so if I hit link, it's going to give me a URL, so I can hit copy. I'm going to go back to my Gmail setting, signature. Take the survey. I'm going to highlight that and hit the link button, and I'm going to copy that link and say okay. So now I'm going to set my default. So for new emails, use my business signature. Reply, use my business signature. And this is where you may have a smaller email for replies that you don't want to have the image and everything else in there, that you can actually change that to have a condensed version of your signature for replies only. Pretty cool.
Hey, Patsy.
Yeah,
Jamie, how you doing?
good.
Good. Hey, and this is probably a pretty remedial question, but how did you get your signature picture in there? Your marketing powered by and all that. How did that drop in there?
Right here. So,
Oh, okay. Insert image. Okay.
yep, just insert image. And
Okay.
notice you have a full editor here. You can add bullets, you can add, do alignment, and you have more formatting here. But when you're here, you just hit insert image and then you upload it from your computer.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Patsy, what is the sizing on the email signature?
You know, I use, let's see, let me get. I can tell you exactly. I use 600 by 200, so 600 pixels long by 200 tall.
Thank you.
It seems to work just perfect. I mean, I think the Michael Lewis ones for those Keller Williams agents out there, I think they're way too big. They just like hit you in the face when you get an email.
Patsy,
Uh-huh.
what if you wanted to put verbiage, like I won't verify third-party information or?
Just put that all, let's see. Let me hit save here. And who can I pick on right now? Oh. He just has that, so he's not a good one to pick on. John might be a good one to pick on. And she sent it from. Let's see. See, this is one that I created and it seems to be about the right size. If you look at some of the other ones, they're awful big. This is how big the Michael Lewis one is. It just kind of hits me in the face. This is kind of neat though. She actually put icons from her social media down here and linked those. And then she put a separate image down here for her website. I think that's really nice. And I think she's done a good job on this. I think this is a little large, but that's okay. You can actually do your social media stuff and separate it out that way if you like it. So I think that's a really good example. I just would make this a little bit more compact. But it looks great. Let's see. Did he have an email signature on his? Oh, he's got one that I did. So let me go back to he didn't have any. Jamie, did you have any information in yours as far as?
No, not yet. I haven't actually set it up, so this is,
Let me see, because I think here she does. Okay, this is a good example. Let's pretend this is a realtor, and this is the warning about fraud, wire fraud, and all that kind of stuff. So you can actually just copy that. Am I answering your question? Is this what you're trying to figure out here?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to add something in there.
Yeah, so I just copied some text. So I'm going to go in here and probably just go down one and paste that. So this could be all about wire fraud, warning people not to wire stuff, or we don't use your information, we don't sell your information, whatever additional compliance information you have to have on your email signature. And remember too, compliance also means that, whatever your brokerage requires you to say on all of your marketing materials needs to be in your email signature. So for example, if you are part of Keller Williams, you need to have each office is independently owned and operated in your email signature. So whatever is required that you have for compliance, let's go ahead and put it in there and hit save. And now let's compose an email. So here you can see that I added the take the survey, and here's all that compliance stuff that I just added in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to worry about doing that over any other time or adding that each time. You can just put it right in your email signature.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of rush this up just a little bit more because I want to get to some of this other stuff. Oops. Here's your vacation responder. Make sure that you have something written in there. You don't need to put your email in there, signature in there, because it will automatically put that in there. And then just hit save changes anytime you make a change to your inbox. So I want to go over here and talk more about, go to your settings, and we're going to actually talk more about a little bit about labels. So a lot of times, especially Gmail users, and real estate agents, let's say I have a common topic of 123 Main Street. It's a house that I'm in escrow with, or trying to negotiate on. So that's always in my subject line. So it's going to create a label, a system label for 123 Main Street. And every email that comes in there with that subject line is going to put it in there automatically. Okay, so it will automatically organize everything for 123 Main Street under that label. If it isn't doing that, or you have that turned off, or you have an older version, you can actually create a label and set up a rule. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Notice I have a lot of the clients that I've had, I always create a label for, so I can keep all my correspondence in that. But if I haven't worked with that person in a really long time, I'm going to hide it. I can show it and only show it if there's unread emails in it, or I can keep it hidden. Or I can completely remove it or edit it. But I'm going to just keep it hidden for now, because if she comes back, if one of my clients comes back and talks to me and wants to do new services, I can open or show that on my label over here and continue to work with that person and haven't lost anything. But I also don't junk up my labels. So I have all my labels over here. Inbox. I have social and promotional because I don't like those things coming into just my primary. So I do like having those different categories. And you can set those up however you want. These are the default ones. And that is the default. I keep mine the default. I don't like having important or priority because I have to be the one that says whether it's important or a priority. Starred messages, including the starred in primary, enable bundling of promo emails and promotion. So what that basically is that if I get 5 things from Raley's, they're all going to be in the same conversation. I'm not going to have 5 different emails showing from Raley's. So here we're going to go back and go to filters. Now this one, this is something I use a lot of. And even though it doesn't show a lot here, I've kind of taken some out so I can show you how to do this. Filters are, if I get out of here and go to my inbox, so I can create a category or a label, and every email that comes in from Wix or PayPal or something about my grandkids, it's going to automatically go into one of those labels. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because you can use this for all kinds of things. It's really an important thing to learn. Filters and blocked addresses. So here you can see I've got PayPal and my Wix label set up. I'm going to create a new filter. So here, I'm going to put in Jesse Daniel. He happens to be my grandson's baseball coach, and I get a ton of emails. And I don't need a subject or a to, but I can say has the words practice schedule. And let's say I want to create one, or it doesn't have practice schedule. You can exclude it or include it. And you can say the size is greater than or less than megabytes. So if you tend to have a lot of large emails that come in with attachments that are large, you can also put on how many megabyte you want or kbytes. So, or you can say attachment or don't include chats. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to take out practice schedule. And anything that comes in from Coach Jesse, I'm going to create a filter for. And I'm going to say, skip the inbox. Nah, I'm going to have it come into the inbox, but I still want it to go into the label. So now we're going to say, apply the label. So we're going to create a new label and call it baseball or Little League, whatever I want. And if I want to nest it, I can nest it under kids, for example. There we go. I don't have to nest it. I can have it out here as its own. But let's go ahead and create it this way. Now, I can also forward it to another Outlook email or Gmail, or stay to another person, automatically gets anything that comes in from Coach Jesse. I can forward it to another email address, or I can just have it deleted. I can also say, and Diane Gamblin, never sent to spam. So on my emails, you can set up a rule that if it comes from patsymecca@gmail.com, it never goes to spam.
I hear ya.
You can also say choose a template. And we're going to go a little bit long. So if you need to get off, go ahead and get off, because I do want to go over templates. I think that's really important too. You can also always mark it as important, never mark as important. You can choose a category, and those are the top 5. I only have primary, social, and promotions on mine. So let's see, I don't want to pick that. I do want to pick primary. And also apply filter to the other 16 that matching conversations with Jesse that I have not put into this category or this label. So now it's going to go back to all of the messages from Jesse and put them all in this label for me. So I don't have to go do that by myself, one by one. Everybody understand? I'm going to say create filter. So now if we go over here to my inbox, and let's make this bigger. Let's open this up. If I look for something from Jesse, let's just, you're going to see they're all here. And you can see that they're in the inbox. Some of them have moved over to the kids label where they should be. And if I go under kids, you can see baseball. It should have applied to all of them. Let's redo this. Okay. Oh, we need to go back to label. Sorry, labels. So here's our label. Baseball. It's going to be under kids right here. We need to edit that. Well, I'm not sure why I didn't put all of them in there. It should have. I may have to get out and come back in. So let's do that real quick one more time. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to create a new filter. And I'm going to say Jesse. All right, so I'm not, oh, I had it skip the inbox. I'm sorry. So we're going to create a new label. Oh, I'll call it baseball 2. And I'm going to say never send it to spam. Actually, I'm just going to say apply as a label. And I don't want it to skip the inbox. So we're just going to say also apply to 16 matching conversations, create, come in here. And now you see they all went in there. I don't think I got that box clicked last time. So that's how we do that one. Let me go back over here and go to settings. And here I want to show you, the next thing I want to show you is templates. So if we go into advanced, we want to see where it says templates. You want to enable templates, okay? So make sure that that is enabled, and then you can do this. So let's say you do, you're composing a message, and I'm going to send this again to Diane because I like to pick on Diane. And I send out a needs list to all my clients. So I'm going to say hi and see how I put in Diane. So I just hit tab. Now I want to add a template. So instead of rewriting this whole email every time, I can come down and say add a template. More options. You see where templates? You won't have that under more options unless you turn templates on. Now I have a needs list for a website or a needs list for the branding package. So we're going to just add the needs list for the branding package. And you can see it has my entire email that I send out to everybody. And then all I have to do is add my attachments and I'm good to go. So that saves a lot of time, especially for realtors, because you may have a lot of emails that are, you're kind of saying the same thing over and over again. And I can edit this. I don't have to have it say everything that was on that template. So for example, if this client already had a custom logo and didn't want yard signs, I can take that out and then hit send. But templates, you really want to pay attention to templates. It can save you a lot of time. And it doesn't take much to set them up. Let me show you how to set them up. So I'm going to compose. And this is an example template on how to create a template. All right, so this is all I have to put in there. And what I want to do is go to templates and I want to save draft as a template right here. Save as a new template. I'm going to call it example template and hit save. So now if I go to compose an email, I can put in Diane. Has anyone used templates before? I'm going to go to templates. I'm going to go to my other options, go to templates. I'm going to say example template, and it puts in exactly what my template said. Isn't that cool?
I love it. Thank you.
It saves so much time, folks. I hope you use that because it's just such a time saver. And you can make that look and perfect, so you're not trying to think of how to save the same thing every time. And then if you ever want to delete a template, you can just go into your templates and say delete template and click on it and say delete. Or you can also edit them. So you can pull up your template and now we can say save this as a template. And you can delete the other one that you had just by deleting it. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. No, cancel. That's not the right one. Yeah, 2. Delete. I wanted to make sure that you saw the templates. I wanted to make sure that you saw how to set up the filters or rules, and know how to manage your email signature and add links, because you can make your email signature look very professional, using a lot of links and some images in there, and just put forward a really nice professional feel. Anybody have any questions? Did we cover everything that you hope to cover? Everyone unmute yourself.
That was great, Patsy.
Good. You were a little hesitant, I remember, Jamie. Was it you that didn't want to use the Likes Outlook?
No, I just really am, Google compromised, and I feel a lot better about it now.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, good. It can be a really awesome tool. And again, if you notice up here, once I turned on a split pane, I want to just show you guys this real quick. It puts up a toggle. So if I get tired of that split pane, I can turn that off. Or if I decide that I want it back on because I want to be able to look at something, I can turn it back on. But you're not going to have that toggle up there until you actually turn the split pane or the preview screen on for the first time, because it has to reload, and then you'll get this toggle up there. So you might just do that so that if you ever want to have a split screen, you can easily toggle it.
Hey Patsy, quick question.
Sure.
So if we use this for our Google email link, for example, in my case, it's the Keller Williams.
Uh-huh.
I pull all my email into Office 365, right? So the links are there. Will all this stuff translate over? Can you set it up as a?
No, Jack, it won't. Sorry.
It won't?
No. If you have it forwarding into Outlook, it's not, you're going to have to set up all this, the rules and filters and everything in Outlook itself.
Okay.
I don't use Outlook, and I know Google, if you guys realize that when you purchase a vanity email from Google used to have, or GoDaddy, and a vanity email is like patsy@patsymecca.com. That's called a vanity email. I highly discourage them for one primary reason, and that's that Outlook, any email server, if it sees patsy@patsymecca.com, it's going to assume that I'm a business, and probably 80% of the time, my emails are going to go to a spam folder. I send out a lot of emails. So because I use patsymecca@gmail, it has a first and last name. It recognizes me. And most email servers like Outlook or Yahoo, it recognizes that there's a first and last name in there. This is probably a friend or a real person. So it's got an 80% chance of going into the inbox of the recipient rather than a 20% chance. So I prefer to use regular Gmail with my first and last name. So I am not wasting a lot of time sending out mass emails just for them to go into a spam folder. So that's my primary reason. Now, what I was saying about GoDaddy, if you purchase an email account from GoDaddy, that's a vanity email, they used to have email workspace. They don't sell that anymore. They sell it as Office 365. So it kind of forces you to go into Microsoft Office 365, which is Outlook. You don't have to do that. You can actually take that and do just the opposite. You can have it set up in your Gmail under your settings. You can actually set up an alias so that it comes into your Gmail instead of your Outlook. It's complicated, it keeps changing, but you can actually come in here and create a forwarding so that everything comes into your Gmail instead of going to the Outlook through Office 365 that GoDaddy sells you. So you're not obligated to Outlook if you buy it from GoDaddy. Just saying that. And if anyone ever needs help setting that up, it's like 6, 8, 9 months in between doing those. So I'm not the most fluent at that. But I know how to get help if I can't figure it out. And usually I can make it work. So that's it. Any other questions? I'm going to stop my